to two faculties which are interrelated in a way and will be presenting differently as was just suggested. So the first is the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, of which Professor Dr. Ganesh Devy is the Dean. We all know him. He's a scholar, an author, a public intellectual associated with the People's Linguistic Survey of India. Has about 125 books edited, 10 books to his name, the latest being India as a Linguistic Civilization, which has come out recently, very recently. Been bestowed with the Sahitya Akademi Award, the Durga Bhagwat Award, the Prince Claus Award, and Padma Shri. So we have Professor Dr. Ganesh Devy, sir. And the second is the Faculty of Language and Literature. The Dean is Dr. Professor Veena Sanekar. She has completed her PhD in narrative literature in Marathi. She has been campaigning for Marathi to be taught in schools. She's the Vice President of the Marathi Abhyas Kendra. She's an alumni of Somaiya Vidyavihar, headed the KJ Somaiya College of Arts and Commerce before joining the Somaiya University. So I welcome both of them on the dais for a discussion. Thank you.
Friday, not 8 to 5. It's only then one should do research, not till then. So I hope the Vice Chancellor will allow me to maintain that view. The next thing is, research cannot be done as one can sing alone in a forest. There's a lovely word in Sanskrit, not for singing, but for crying, Aranyarudan. It is inevitably linked to where you are and when you are, the time and the location. By location, I don't mean the village or the town or the city. But there's a wider context within which we are. Though all of us have the vanity of as being individuals, none of us is an individual really. We all belong to the context. Today, when I say today, not today, but at present, in present time. No, I had to say this because a lot of use of technology has driven metaphors out of language. And every word is taken literally. So at the present moment, we, the humans, are facing some unprecedented problems. One is the climate change has reached a point where it has simply gone out of hands. California fires are not just the problem of California, they're also the problem of us in Bombay. That problem may not come to us in the form of fire, it might come in the form of waves. So we are caught in an environmental degradation, an end of Holocene and beginning of Anthropocene in an irreversible manner. The second is a tremendous inequality of incomes. There is either an absolute concentration of wealth in the hands of very few, and lots of people worried about tomorrow, with the states no longer willing to take responsibility for some very basic things like education and health. We all accept that disparities become the norm. Is normalized in our consciousness. There is also about more than 35% of humanity is migratory every day. So the idea of residing, idea of relationship with land, identity, all of that is changing. I mean, we have, say, Dean of Dharma Studies. now here, next morning in US, the following morning he will be here. And it's normal. It's normal. Meanings have changed. Meanings have changed. There are many other things. I don't mention wars, and I don't mention the creation of cultural wars through foreign policies such as clash of civilization of Huntington and so on. But within this context that we are thinking of doing research, not because it is a university requirement, but because this little group that we have in the faculties, 2 faculties, genuinely wants to do research. Not because it is necessary, but because it is unnecessary we are doing research. And I'm saying it the way Oscar Wilde had said, all art is useless, by which he did not mean it is useless. But what are we doing? Tackling this question of inequality, we are looking at knowledge inequality. We here in Africa, in Latin America, South America cannot remain perpetual consumers of knowledge produced somewhere and then keep blaming them for producing knowledge. We have to do something. So to build this kind of bridge, to create some equality, in knowledge equality, we undertaken a massive project, which the Faculty of Literature and Language is handling. I'll first request Professor Sanekar to speak about it. Also, we decided among ourselves, 3 of us, that we will use several languages in the presentation. Because there is no rule, a God-given rule, कि अंग्रेजी ही बोली जाए. अंग्रेजी ठीक है, बोल सकते हैं. मैडम, मैं आपका पॉइंट मुद्दा समझता हूँ. I agree with you. But let me disagree for a while. हम मराठी, हिंदी और अंग्रेजी तीनों बोले. So if you do not mind, you can please tell your knowledge connect. आणि मराठीत बोला आणि हिंदीत बोला. All knowledges, all languages, including Kavita, the Adivasi Bhasha, they are the Indian knowledge system. Indian knowledge system did not exist only in the past. What exists today is also Indian knowledge. Whether system or chaos, it is Indian.
So, as you all know that मी स्कूल ऑफ सिव्हिलायझेशन स्टडीजमध्ये जे काम सरांसोबत करते आहे त्याच्यावरती एक थोडंसं बोलीन आणि सरांनी त्यांच्या बरोबरीने चर्चेसाठी मला आमंत्रित केलेलं आहे आणि त्याच्यानंतर मी एक 5-7 मिनटं माझी विनंती राहील की मी जे लँग्वेज लिटरेचरच्या फॅकल्टीशी बोलले ते मांडायची मला संधी मिळावी. तर ज्ञानसेतू, वी हॅव टेकन द इनिशिएटिव्ह ज्ञानसेतू. मी 2 भाषांचा प्रयोग करते जिथे मला योग्य वाटेल तिकडे आणि जिथे अडखळेन तिकडे दुसऱ्या भाषेचा आधार घेतो. ज्ञानसेतू, देर आर सो मेनी बुक्स इन फ्रॉम वेरियस डिसिप्लिन्स विच आर नॉट येट ट्रान्सलेटेड इन मराठी. And I think Pooja ma'am was talking about the mother tongue and the education and NEP policy. So, ज्याला मराठीमध्ये अनुशेष असं म्हणतात. So, backlog of this translation. And this is the main research area through translation studies we are handling at present. And nearly 28 scholars from Maharashtra. And of course, we all together are doing this work, that is Jnana Setu. And various books from sociology, anthropology, psychology, history will be translated in this project. So we have even planned a conference which will be held on 1st February. And then there will be nearly for 7 to 8 days there will be conference series and from on different subjects which will help teachers, which will help our faculties. For example, we are bringing up the volume on India and the world, and such. So it is basically research-based work. You want to add something? Makers of Mumbai.
थँक्यू. याखेरीज या इंग्रजीमधून, फ्रेंचमधून, जर्मनमधून, अरेबिकमधून, जॅपनीजमधून, चायनीजमधून मराठीमध्ये पुस्तकं आम्ही आणतो आहे. आणि युनिव्हर्सिटीनी फार जनरस फंडिंग सपोर्ट त्याच्यासाठी दिला आहे. ते पब्लिशर्स नक्की झालेले आहेत. आणि येत्या 3 वर्षामध्ये किमान 30 फार महत्त्वाचे फाउंडेशनल इकॉनॉमिक्स शिकवता तर ॲडम स्मिथ मराठीत नाही आहे. सायकॉलॉजी शिकवता तर फ्रॉइड मराठीत नाही आहे. सोशॉलॉजी शिकवता डरकाइम मराठीत नाही आहे. तुम्ही लिटररी कल्चरल स्टडीज शिकवता वॉल्टर बेंजामिन मराठीत नाही आहे. सो वी आर ब्रिंगिंग मेनी लाखा चाइल्ड एज्युकेशन जाख लाखान मराठीत नाही आहे. वी आर ब्रिंगिंग ऑल ऑफ दिस इन टू मराठी फॉर ऑल universities in Maharashtra. We are accountable. So our context, the context within which we are doing research is a great ignorance which envelops the Marathi domain of education. We are trying to bring some knowledge connect there to reduce the knowledge disparity, knowledge inequality. Secondly, we don't have enough. No major theoretical breakthrough has happened in social sciences in India during the last 60 years, I will say. The last we had heard about some sociological, it was M.N. Srinivas. After that, this in history is subaltern studies, which also is now beginning 1970s. It's good, but it's old hat. In economics, we have not come up with any theory in India. So we are trying to generate some space for proposing a new theory. And these new theories cannot be generated or proposed only in the same way as were proposed in those fields earlier. We have to figure out what is the field where a theory can be proposed. And what we decided is the oldest social, economic, religious, biological, ecological unit in India is village. The Indian city collapsed again and again, but the Indian village has continued. I'm not talking about current Indian villages and their, that's not, village as a structure has continued. Bombay is a conglomerate of villages rather than a city. The European cities are cities very different, American cities very differently. We're trying to look at a model of study of city. There is no model, theoretical model of study of city in India. हम लोग जैसे गुलाम होते हैं ना, स्लेव जैसे, कहीं इधर का मॉडल लाया, उसको लगाया, इधर का वो उसके नाक का लेंथ कितना है, कान का कितना है, उसकी कैलोरी, ऑल दैट रीहैश and we count it numerically, but that's not it is research, it's a research training, but it's not research which will change any field of knowledge. To do that, we have made a beginning, a very humble beginning, very small beginning in constructing a model of urban history. And to that end, I mean, when you build a house, you have one brick but 100 bricks. So one brick by brick, this model can be created. For instance, for the students, we suggested Gen Z survey of Bombay, cultural survey of Bombay, they're doing. Language survey, cultural survey of fort area, they're doing. But the making of Bombay is being investigated by the School of Civilization, and Gaurav, Dr. Gadgil is taking lead in that. So he will speak about what he's doing in order to create a model of urban studies.
Yeah, good afternoon. So as I said, this was unexpected. I was not expecting to talk. But as Professor Devy was rightly saying, that urban studies has been studied from very different model, which has been essentially a European or an American construct. So we are trying to reanalyze it critically, evaluate it, and whether an alternative model can be created to study the cities, their emergence, and their existence and evolution in the Indian context. The village has been a very prominent idea, and the general imagination has been that you have, as Professor Devi rightly said, that you have a group of villages coming together and a city forming out of it, and then you have urban structures replacing rural structures. So are we urbanizing the rural, or is there ruralizing of the urban which is taking place? So that's one of the aspects which we are trying to evaluate. Now, along with that, how does a city come up? Because cities have come in, they have collapsed right from the Harappan cultures to the more present times. Even in the city that we live in, that is Bombay, or today called as Mumbai, it has its emergence only about in the 18th century, and it took its formal form in the 19th century. So the individuals behind the process, the institutions, the roles that they have played in the making of the city, and the reciprocal role about how the city has shaped these individuals and institutions. So for example, when we talk about the city, the two things that immediately pop up to the mind of a Mumbaikar in today's time, or a Bombayite in today's times, is one is finance, because it's where the stock markets are located, and the other is in the field of cricket. So undoubtedly these two themes are going to be understood, but there is a lot of city beyond these themes as well. So it's an analysis and numerous short form biographies that are going to be created. About 70 individuals and institutions are being studied. In the first phase, we'll be expanding into the study of communities that have come together, because a city can be formed only with the idea of migration. And again, with the idea of migration and the city that we are in, apart from the climate control crisis, Maharashtra government has constituted a committee to look into the kind of vehicles that should be driven in MMR. That is something which happened, I think, today or yesterday. You also have the train compartment mentality, which comes with migration. So you have numerous issues, both past and present. So can we imagine the city without migrations? Is another question that can be engaged. So there are multiple such themes, individuals, communities, over which the analysis is happening. So we are having a seminar on the 4th of February, where people from all around the city, as well as some from outside, are going to be coming together to engage in panel discussions, trying to reinvigorate this idea.
The makers of Bombay, those books, 5 volumes will come out with short form biographies. Perhaps next year. Already the writing has started. तुम्हाला आत्ता बोलायचं का? मग नाही तुम्ही आधी आम्हाला एक बोलायचं बसा ना. The question of ecology we are handling not by doing what we cannot do. We are not geologists, we are not hydrologists. We are not people who can study epidemics and so on, or forestry, but we can study culture. So we have created 3 centers. A center for study of mountains, mountain cultures, Himalayas and mountain cultures. A center for study of Kutch and deserts, a center for study of ocean, Indian Ocean, and ocean studies. You already heard Dr. Chaya Goswami and Dr. Yamini Shah. Kavita Pai handles the Himalayan and there the idea is to think of connects and how the in-between areas get agitated with the idea of nation. I mean, Himalayan communities, they really belong to several nations all at the same time, traditionally. And so the new life has created new conditions. So we're looking at the people, the in-between people. The, yeah, in oceans, in deserts, Rajasthan had nomadic communities for thousands of years. Post Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, they are caught between two nations. So we're looking at those things. That is, we are looking at borders to see where borders and minds meet and where borders and minds diverge. So, in order to create a definition, cultural definition. So these centers, these topics we are exploring. The last one, before I close, there is a lot to say. This is a very new faculty. We have very few persons. We have some who do literature and language, some who do social sciences, some who do philosophy, some who do nothing but think they are doing everything. So all of that. The last thing is we are producing we are trying to revisit the entire history of humans from the very beginning till today for the entire globe, and producing a series on civilization in collaboration with scholars from various countries, from China, Korea, Italy, Egypt, Iran, UK, United States, and so on. Brazil, they will all be here tomorrow, day after. We have already made contracts with publishers for English, 10 volumes in English, 10 in Marathi translation, because I want my mother tongue Marathi and my mother tongue Gujarati to have these books. So I have two mother tongues. So 10 in Marathi, 10 in Kannada, 10 in Hindi. They will start coming out this year, and by 28 end, all these 40 books on civil, and also a Japanese translation is coming out. So these 50 books will be to our credit of Somaiya University on civilization, and this is a new way of looking at, a different way of looking at civilization. Not the 19th century way, not the American way of clash of civilizations, not a deep history way of going only for the origins, and we're looking at it differently. So all of this we're doing, but this is very small work, and we need to do a lot more. I will stop now. This Faculty of Social Science and Humanities is an open-ended faculty. Our papers, BA papers, are titled What? The subject we teach is called What? So it is what is knowledge? What is history? That's a paper. What is history? What is society? What is modern? So every course we teach is called What course? That is beginning of research. Research must go to the first year student. Then only a department or a faculty will have succeeded. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request for just 5 to 6 minutes, just because this was together journey which with sir, so many things, so many new horizons which we are exploring. Now, I thank my colleague, my friends, who are in various institutes of Somaiya Vidyavihar, and at present teaching language and literature. As a student of Somaiya Vidyavihar, I have experienced that this is the only and rare and unique campus where various type of languages are always respected. And this is experience, and I thank Honorable Management for specially considering and creating a space for Faculty of Language and Literature. I'm just trying to, we'll go fast because already 5 minutes I'm asking for. We'll go further where the slide of teachers is there, and I just, if somebody is there to help me out, Gaurav sir, please help me out. Gaurav sir, please help me out for going further. Now, different teachers in different institutes, just go ahead. Yeah. I'll just go ahead. Next slide. Languages and literature in our faculty at SVU. Teachers in different institutes are engaged at present in various Indian and foreign languages. Their interests are different. You can just read it as I'm going fast. I'll go to further slide. Kritika Bhosle, pursuing PhD in German language and linguistics. Her research interest, German as a foreign language, multilingualism, and Marathi as a second and foreign language, language change. Bhumi Malde, pursuing PhD in Francophone literature. Her research interest is migration and diaspora studies, Caribbean literature, French and comparative literature. Saheli Chatraj again is a faculty of China. These are various faculties and various institutes, but their language and literature focus only I wish to underline. Her research interest is in language, Chinese language teaching, pedagogies and intercultural communication, etc., literature and society. Yamini Shah is a good poet in English, and her PhD topic you can read at liminal spaces and identities in diaspora. Her interest is gender studies and culture studies. Please, next slide. Dr. Anand Bodle, just we heard Ukarande sir and Ukarande sir's institute. These are the three faculties which I can talk and communicate with them, who are African and American literature, literature of the marginalized and oppressed are Anand Bodle's areas of interest. English language teaching also is his area of interest. Dr. Suvarna, her research interest is in eco-criticism, animal rights and human-animal relationships. Anima Parimal, pursuing PhD in sustainable screen and through film studies. Rajesh Dhotre, once again in different institute of Somaiya campus. He is from media department and pursuing at present PhD in comparative study of artistic expression, literature and films. Next slide. I will not go deep because already Ghosh sir has discussed about this, but I could see that there are various interests like children's literature is also they have taken up, and this is very much interesting. Someone of them is preparing good dictionary in Prakrit and Sanskrit, Konkan folk literature and Sanskrit texts, Ramayana texts. These are the areas of language and literature which I could just found when I discussed with all these teachers. Thirst areas, I really thank because in person I had discussed with everyone. And these are the thirst areas like literature, oral and folk literature, comparative literature, region-specific literature, gender studies and subaltern literature. In language, language teaching, language catalogs, multilingual dictionaries, communication skills, creative writing, translation, genre translation, textual analysis, technology in translation, and again in linguistics, comparative linguistics, socio-linguistics, and so on. Now, interdisciplinary areas where all these faculties are interested, and they have suggested these thirst areas for research. Traditional knowledge in the field of literature. Our Dharma studies faculties are working on Indian knowledge system and how we can go together. Languages and cultural studies, film and literature, eco-cinema, language and identity, eco-criticism. These are few areas, and at the end I will just say that literature and society, literature and linguistics, so many things can be go together. And language and artificial intelligence. In like Germany, few apps are created for learning language. So this area is also can be focused. And again, you can see that to get funding good. And this area especially which I want to underline, that to create a dedicated center for research on developing the methods of teaching Indian languages to non-native speakers. On this also foreign language and other faculties are working. I'll again thank Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and we know that we have taken great more time. Thank you.